Welcome back everyone, it's time to go balls deep. And Oda really did it, guys. It's finally here. Luffy's new Gear 5th is coming.
Hold on, what?
Alright, come on guys. It's pretty much confirmed, alright? Luffy literally says this is the last time he's going to use Gear 4th. And we all know Kaido ain't going down just yet, as we still haven't gotten his sad backstory. You know, the one that everyone's gonna start crying and start thinking, maybe we should give him a chance. Maybe Kaido isn't a bad guy after all.
No.
Okay, but most importantly, we all know there's an off chance Luffy will show us an awakening as part of his new form. Oh yes, chapter 1041 has a lot to unpack, even with many of our prediction coming into play, as we have the answer to what Gear 5th actually is. We also find out more about Oden's journal, Momonosuke's importance, and Kaido's past with Big Mom. And I gotta say, gosh damn man, she looking good.
Yes! 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 No! No! No!
In all seriousness guys, before we get into this video, I want to thank today's sponsor, Sakuraco.
What are you doing, man?
I thought you would never ask. Guys, I got some good stuff. Something better than Ichiraku ramen. Something more greater than dango and meat. I got a box from Tokyo Treats and Sakuraco box. You heard that right. And I'm gonna be opening it here with you guys. And honestly, I'm so excited. I'm gonna give you a genuine reaction because I haven't even opened it yet. And you're gonna share the experience. Okay, so we got the sweet bread. We got this cute things, and I can tell that looks delicious just by feeling it. I don't know why I said that. Oh my god, they gave me a freaking pudding. It's a 10 out of 10 pudding, I can feel it. I mean, you guys are missing out right now, and I feel it for you lot. But you don't need to miss out, that's just a choice. You guys are making a choice by missing out. Oh, this is a tea. You know what? I want to enjoy this properly. I mean, I unboxed it for you guys, so I'm going to make myself some tea now, because it's tea time. Good stuff. If you're thinking you want a little bit more culture and experience the good old Japanese traditional snacks, then look no further than Sakuraco. Each month, the theme is different to ensure your taste buds never get bored. Each box also comes with a 24-page booklet to help you understand all that goodness that goes into each box. So make sure to click the link in the description below and use the code ABD to enjoy some free snacks in your first order. Sakuraco. Okay, so right off the bat, the chapter starts with the continuation of Momonosuke's conversation with Yamato. He tells Yamato that he just spoke with Zunisha. We still don't know anything about the crimes Zunisha committed in Joy Boy's timeline, though this chapter confirms balls deep prediction hockey was right once again, as it turns out that Zunisha has come to Wano in order to get orders from Momo to fight by his side. This is literally what I said 2 chapters ago, where I explained that back in Zao,
hold it. Run that back. Wait a minute.
back in Zao, Zunisha targeted Momo and didn't really address and try to communicate with Luffy, Oden, nor the Pirate King Goldie Roger, when all of them had the ability of the voice of all things and actually could hear Zunisha. He purposely chose Momonosuke and only Momonosuke, but I'll get to why in a bit and explain my theory. With that though, Yamato is elevated at the thought of Momo being able to talk to the elephant, as Oden had predicted Momo would lead the world to its new dawn. Momo tells us that he has learned the reason why he must survive this battle through his father's journal. However, Oden had ripped out all the spoiler pages from this journal. The good stuff about what made everyone laugh in Laugh Tales, the true importance of Momonosuke's task, that information is still missing from the journal. But for reals, it does make sense because Oden's journal could have literally fallen to anyone and it might have contained information that he probably didn't want to share with just anybody. Regardless, Momo says that he isn't as wise as his father. He keeps thinking of the safety of his people and the dangers that might befall his country if the borders were to be opened. This fear makes him want to never open Wano. However, this quality of Momonosuke to care about his people isn't really a weakness. Like, even with Oden back 26 years ago, he danced on the streets naked for 6 years, thinking Orochi was going to let the captured prisoners free and leave Wano for good. Oden at that time did what he thought was best for his people, even if retrospectively Actually, it probably would have been better for Wano if Oden had stormed and smacked Orochi down that waterfall 26 years ago, instead of, trusting in the words of a snake. Momo is also fearful of making wrong decisions which could hurt his people. Questions such as, will opening up the borders bring in more garbage like Kaido? Will Momo repeat the same mistakes as his father due to his naivety? Especially to an 8-year-old little boy. These decisions must be excruciating. And let's not forget what Momo read in a journal about himself needing to stay alive. That he would be the one to lead the world to its dawn. This type of responsibility will make anyone shit their pants. This kid needs a freaking break right now. A timeout. A bath with Robin and Nami.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services.
Hey, now I know what you guys are thinking. Anime Paul's name isn't Momonosuke Joy Boy?
No.
Okay, listen. I explained this already in our collab with Ohara, where I debunked the idea that Momo is Joy Boy and why Luffy is the only one that can be Joy Boy if we follow the prophecy of the Sea King that Roger and Oden heard. And of course, other indicators foretold throughout the story. One of the biggest reasonings was that Momonosuke being born before the prophesied time eliminates him completely from being the sovereign the Sea Kings were waiting for to meet Poseidon. Now I go into depth. Look, man, I'm not going to explain this 50 million times. Momonosuke is not Joy Boy, okay? Let's move from that. However, in one of our last reviews, I gave a theory of Momonosuke's importance and why he is the only one who will be able to give Zunisha orders. And one part of the theory was that Momonosuke is the grandson of Zunisha's previous master, who was the father of Toki. Yes, not Oden. I know Oden and his family has connections back to Zhao, but Toki, listen man, let's think about it. Toki is 830 years from the past, and she jumped to the future to meet a person who will bring the awaited dawn. She is very likely connected to Joy Boy and the fall of the ancient kingdom, where her own father would have been in alliance with Joy Boy during his mission. With that said, it's possible his power to control and command Zunisha and other things dubbed him the title Uranus. And now Momonosuke by heritage is Uranus. Okay, what we do know for sure is that Momonosuke will play a huge role in guiding Luffy and bringing the awaited dawn. This theory also then connects with my Imu D Judas theory I mentioned in the last video, where every D member are descendants of Joy Boy's crew, those who survived after their loss against the allied kingdoms. These members promise to continue in Joy Boy's dream by passing their will onto the next generation. Imu-sama fits into all of this because according to this theory, he or she was a D. A big D in fact.
What?
What I mean is that Imu-sama was close friends with Joy Boy and Momonosuke's grandfather. However, he wasn't in favor of Joy Boy's plan to unify the world, so he betrayed Joy Boy by tricking Zunisha into helping the allied nations win over the ancient kingdom. Imu-sama then obtained the power of immortality, likely due to an Ope Ope no Mi user giving their life. Helping the allied kingdom win, he was given the throne to later control the government from the shadows. There's much more to the theory, and if you guys want me to cover it in detail, then get this video over 20,000 likes. I know you can do it. Come on guys, smash that like button and ding that notification bell so you don't miss out. Moving back to the chapter though, we transition to the third floor castle interior, where Raizo, the greatest shinobi ever, has withstood the flames and trials straight from hell to emerge victorious against Fukurokuju. Bossman Jinbei, realizing the fate of the ninja world rests upon Raizo's shoulder, comes to his rescue. Orochi, the Kage of the dumbasses, on the other hand, is still wailing about where Fukurokuju has run off to. But throughout his worries, Kumurasaki is playing Orochi's favorite tune as stuff is collapsing all around the room. He gets irritated by the song due to the stress he's in and demands her to take off her mask as he is paranoid that my man needs to confirm that she ain't a ghost, you know, like come on man, didn't he see her die? But before Orochi can spew any more stupidity from his mouth, the ceiling collapses on him, causing him to get stuck under the roof. Finally, it turns out that he tried to transform into his devil fruit form, as you know he's his own type and could easily get out of some rubble. But in his paranoia, Orochi didn't notice Kumurasaki used a sea stone nail to make sure Orochi couldn't transform. This silly geezer keeps crying that she still loves him, and how could she do this to her lover? Well, it's not like he sent assassins after her, basically forcing her her to be a fugitive and he expects her to love him?
Shut your stupid.
Kumarasaki then hits Orochi with a double dose of reality, telling him that she never had even a shred of affection for him. And it's quite poetic that Orochi's favorite song is the same song Hiyori used to play for her father Odin as a child, called the Moon Princess. Just like Orochi, Odin cherished the song as well. This is when all the dots starts aligning in Orochi's head. Orochi finally realizes that Kumarasaki is actually Hiyori, the daughter of Odin, and the reason she always has a mask on is because she can never smile, playing her father's favorite song to Orochi. Now the mask here also represents the mask of Kumarasaki Hiyori wore to survive. Her roles for the last 20 years have all been about suppressing her true identity, even defrauding the corrupt bosses of the flower capital, tricking them into going bankrupt and using that money to help out the unfortunate people outside of Wano was a side of her, hidden by the mask of the ruthless Oiran. But now she will take off those masks in front of Orochi, the one at the root of all her suffering, and show him the true Kuzuki Hiyori behind the mask and facade of Kumarasaki. We then move on to the basement where Izo is fighting one of the CP0 agents. Izo fires his gun, bang bang bang, whilst the agent uses Shigan to injure Izo. Both of them falls on the ground alongside CP0 boss. It looks like Izo has been 1v2ing the CP0 agents. The boss approaches Maha, the one Izo shot. As the leader asks if Maha is okay, Maha tells him to stop worrying about him and go catch Robin. But before he can get up, he gets a call from the Denden Mushi. The caller gives CP0 a new order, an order straight from the Gorosei. The boss of the CP0 is then ordered to eliminate Monkey D. Luffy immediately. Now, like any sane person, this man is shocked as hell. The plan was to let the Yonko, the Supernova and Luffy wear each other out. Then CP0 and the government ship will swoop in and bag them all for execution. But now, something seems to have changed. We know that the government doesn't care which side wins, so why all of a sudden does CP0 need to eliminate Luffy immediately? Piecing together the information we have currently, the number one possibility could be that the devil fruit the Gorosei were talking about in chapter 1038 is actually Luffy's, and a ballsy prediction about the all blue theory is coming true.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Oh, come on guys, I know this is the 100th time I have said this, but say it with me. Luffy will destroy the red line and make the world into one piece by uniting the oceans, creating all blue and bringing the fishmen up to the surface by making Shirley's prophecy come true, since destroying the red line also destroys Fishman Island. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
This guy stinks!
Okay, seriously though guys, what I described is the biggest fear of the world government and the Gorosei. And if we look at one of the examples of the very first awakening Luffy witnessed, it was Doflamingo who would turn everything into strings. Similarly, Luffy's awakening could make him able to create bounce world or turn things into rubber. We know that Luffy comes up with his abilities by seeing other powers. Gear 2 was done by seeing the Rokushiki technique of CP9. Gear 4 was based after the giant animals in Ruskaina, where Luffy needed to become chunky to deal with the animals and also imitated them, creating different styles to his Gear 4th. Similarly, Luffy adapted to Katakuri's future sight. So the idea that after seeing Doflamingo use his awakened string to his surroundings, Luffy might have gotten an idea on how to awaken his devil fruit. And an awakening which can turn things into rubber would be quite scary to the world government, as the destruction of the red line and the world order would be at the hands of Luffy. This would also explain why the original CP0 agents was given the task to bring the Gomu Gomu no Mi to the Gorosei before Shanks snatched it right from their hands in the East Blue. I believe all of this is a huge foreshadowing to what's to come, as later on in this very chapter, Luffy baits us that Gear 5th is upcoming. Bounce Man World, here we go.
Moving back to the chapter, while all this is happening, we see Drake getting out of all the rubble, all beaten up and injured, stating that he won't go down without a fight. The CP0 boss is still worried about his new order and wonders what kind of crew the Straw Hat Pirates really are. Why are so many people willing to sacrifice their lives for Straw Hat Luffy? But before we get to see more of this, we go somewhere else in the basement. We see that Usopp alongside Kiku and Kinemon are trying to escape with the help of Hamlet, the giraffe gifter. We also see Carrot and Wanda trying to find somewhere safe since the outside of the dome is crumbling. Zoro, who was about to fall from the collateral damage from Big Mom's fight, was caught by Frankie before he fully fell off. Frankie notices that Zoro is not in good shape, but even after screaming at him multiple times, Zoro has not answered at all. I wouldn't be so worried about Zoro though if I were you, you know. He's just gonna get lost and not find his way to the afterlife and he'll just come right back. We then move on to the interior of the dome where everyone is shocked that Kid and Law were actually able to defeat Big Mom. However, Marco states that they still can't afford to drop their guard since Onigashima is the most dangerous place in the entire world at the moment. Speaking of Kid and Law though, they are having a conversation with each other, wondering if they should brace themselves for Kaido. But Law says that they have done their part, and even if Kaido were the one to win against Luffy, they don't have the strength to keep fighting. But this is when we see Kaido and Luffy. However, this time they feel something strange. Kaido freaks out and screams, "Oh, Linlin! They beat her!" Oh no. Luffy also is amazed that they were actually able to do it. But this is when Kaido gets flashbacks. Flashbacks to his first interaction with Big Mom when he was just 15 years old. As Kaido joins the Rocks Pirates, he first encounters Big Mom, who tells him that if something is bothering him, he should come back to her. After all, she is the woman who will rule the seas. This is big news here. Kaido's power and potential was incredible that just at 15 years of age, Rocks noticed him and allowed him to join the Rocks Pirates. Now, this is big news as Kaido's power and potential was so incredible that just at 15 years of age, Rocks noticed him and allowed him to join the Rocks Pirates. And this was before he got the Devil Fruit. You know, the pirate group that came the closest to conquering the whole world if it weren't for Roger and Garp stopping them? Yeah, it would have been GG if it weren't for them. And Kaido was acknowledged by Rocks at 15 years of age. Like, bro, come on. This dude is on a different level, built different. But the most important part about this flashback is that, oh my god, look at Big Mom. Holy shit, Big Mom used to be a big mommy. Yeah, nah, come on, look at her, bro. She's a baddie. Look at her. No wonder she got 66 husbands. Damn. We all know why Law and Kid were trying to smash her so hard last chapter. You know, I know y'all feeling the same way.
Stop it. Get some help.
Anyways, Kaido thinks to himself that him and Linlin have a lot of history together now that he thinks about it. This is where Kaido goes into his weeping drunk state and cries because he couldn't protect Big Mom and broke his promise they swore to protect and help each other find the One Piece. Now, there is something interesting about young Kaido and Big Mom, where both of them seem to have a similar goal to Luffy, to become the Pirate King and help the world in their own ways. Big Mom tried to end the suffering by creating Totoland, where anyone from any race is welcome in this fantastical place where she provides safe harbor, and this is what her treasure represents. Kaido also had a similar dream until that light was extinguished from his eyes. In his earlier flashback with King, we saw that he was persecuted for being an Oni, and after the 18 times of being captured by the world government, his view of the world grew bitter and bitter every time. His freedom was being taken away for the simple fact of being an Oni and for the selfish reason for genetic research by the government. Psychologically, this created a divide between the human-controlled world government and the Oni self of Kaido. This is why when fighting Yamato, Kaido keeps trying to drill into her head that they are Onis. They are better than these humans. One Kaido or Yamato is enough to subjugate countless humans, and their two people can't coexist together. This bitterness resulted in Kaido taking advantage of the people of Wano just as the world government tried to use him to create weapons, so he used the people of Wano to make weapons for the Beast Pirates. In his dream to be Joy Boy, he stumbled and instead of cherishing his family and Nakama, he instead used them for his own selfish reasons. Yamato was the culmination of this, where she wanted to roam free just like Odin, but Kaido chained her up the exact opposite of the freedom of Joy Boy. Big Mom went down a similar path where her selfish dream made the people of Totoland give her parts of their soul or life as a form of taxation. Not only this, but her crew and her children were groomed and given birth so they could serve her. And when they did want freedom in the case of Lola, she was exiled. Both of them wanted to give the world Joy Boys freedom and become the king of the seas, but unlike Luffy, they succumbed to the selfishness and started doing the opposite of their dreams. Even when you look at the distribution of the red poneglyphs, it's almost like Kaido and Big Mom each have a piece of the puzzle, one piece, but the rest is unattainable for them. But coming back to the chapter, we see Luffy. Luffy goes full on Gear 4 Snakeman, and while transforming, we see a glimpse of something peculiar, something that looks straight up like a demon, or rather a monkey. I think this could be a prelude to Luffy using Gear 5, as he himself says that this is his last Gear 4. And by looking at Kaido and how we haven't even gotten his full backstory yet, Kaido will likely pummel Luffy down all drunk and force Luffy to activate his Gear 5, Bounce World, or Monkey King. Alongside Snake Man, Luffy also uses a new attack called Hydra, which looks like his Python attack just with a touch of Rio and Conqueror's Haki. I don't know if you guys have noticed the naming of Luffy's attacks, but when he's imbuing his attacks with Conqueror's Haki, it seems like his attack names become that of mythical birds. For example, his usual Hawk Gatling becomes ROC Gatling, which is a mythical creature around the deserts of Arabia. And now when we look at Hydra, it's almost like his Python attack, but just amplified with advanced Conqueror's Haki, now called the Hydra instead of Python. Luffy screams at Kaido, "Don't talk to me about your dreams. Your dreams made this country starve," which is 100% true. For Kaido to achieve his plans, he manipulated an entire country and is killing a lot of people in order to achieve his goals. Crazy magic of a backstory for us to feel even a little bit of a sympathy for this guy, you know? Now, this is the total opposite of what Luffy represents. Luffy, unlike Kaido, doesn't want to rule anything or anyone. Luffy would never sacrifice someone else for the sake of his dream, which is what Kaido is doing. And Luffy tells Kaido that he won't stop swinging until he has nothing left. No matter what it takes, he will kick Kaido out of Wano for good. This is where the chapter ends, so if you guys want to know more about Luffy's Gear 5th, then check out our Gear 5th video that we did with Grand Line Review, where we explained 5 different possibilities of Gear 5th, and, you know, one of them bound to come true, so you should watch that.